is up, and it's good.
You're listening to The Extra Point.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Great to have everybody here on this wonderful Friday night. Really excited to get this Super-Flex Dynasty Mock going. Really, it's been a long day. For those that can't see, my ears are red. I've been outside all day long. Kendall, how you been, brother?
Hey, I'm good. I'm ready to mock, man. It was an interesting week, but I've been looking forward to this. I feel like it was the busiest week, but I had that I'm torn between. I want to watch and listen to all my fantasy content when I'm doing other things. I'm such a crazy fan of a bunch of other shows, but this time of year, I feel like if you're a hardcore dynasty player and you're big in the best ball streets, I mean, you have to be ahead of the crowd because everyone's waiting for other people's videos 100%. To come out, right? So if you're out in the trade market, you really have to have your own opinion. And so this has been the week where, yeah, I finished a lot of my dynasty drafts, and this is how I do a lot of my own homework. I really want to see how this draft board hits me, how it feels, how I feel about certain rookies and kind of positional groups, and yeah. So with that being said, I'm in for a mock, man.
Alrighty. So tonight we are doing a Super-Flex startup mock. And I'm just getting the boys ready to go. Let me pull it up for you guys up here. There we go. We'll go down here for now. And then, let's get this thing started. We got our good buddy Evan in the 101 tonight. Waiting for him to make his, You've
been seeing Josh Allen like 10 out of 10 times, or you're seeing the Bijan and the Gibbs?
It's Bijan.
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm seeing that more and more recently. I straight up don't hate it.
No, I don't either. I've been pulling a lot of when we do these now. I've been aiming for the end of the draft because I'm kind of curious how things will wrap up. Captain, you were there the whole time. Shame. Just go off cue.
It's all good.
No. So then you know what?
Man.
He queued up.
Sometimes you got to grab that second beer. All right. So, I wondered if this would happen. I think a lot of mocks are going to fall this way in actual drafts where it's Bijan Gibbs within the top, like actual 3. This is crazy. I'm going to do the easy Josh Allen pick here. You don't see it very often. I haven't gone quarterback early since I was doing my Drake May pick here a lot. And then I pivoted. I have liked not taking quarterback in the first round a lot. So this was not what I had planned on doing from this spot, but it's going to be interesting. Already going in a different direction. You're picking from the 110.
I'm doing the 110. I've been.
What are you looking at right now at the 110?
9. I wanted to try the 10. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be anywhere from Jaden Daniels, Brown, Bauer, Joe Burrow, Neighbors. I got a lot of options. We always do 0.5 tight end premium as well, so. There's a lot of options here. Duarte is very good at sniping me. So,
are you planning on going quarterback, or you just definitely want to go positional here?
Whoa, this is a tough one to go positional. I have Amon-Ra St. Brown. I got Neighbors all waiting there for me. Most of the running backs that I would want to go to are gone. I've gone a lot of Neighbors lately. I'm gonna go Amon-Ra because he fell. But normally I've been going Neighbors and trying to lock up the Jackson Dart Neighbors stack around here. So Ace the Mace, what's going on, man? Great to have you here tonight. Thanks for coming in. Hope you enjoy the show. Let us know how you feel about our first 2 picks and how they've been rounding out. Really appreciate you joining us tonight. So thanks for coming.
Yeah, get some questions too. You want player takes, who you take at a certain spot. I want to answer some questions tonight. I have like every fantasy topic in the book just swirling around my head right now. So Ace, definitely hit us with it, man. We're ready to talk about some questions tonight. See how the turn goes here.
Yeah, this is a fun pick for me because I have a few. Oh wow, I was not expecting this to happen.
Like that, I like that Hampton pick a lot.
I love the Hampton pick. It kind of made it and forced my hand. I love it.
You were thinking Neighbors in the 1. You go to I love that start actually. Like if I'm you, I don't say I'm going to switch drafts with you, but I've practiced that start more. Like in theory, and I think it's going to hit pretty nice. I would be nervous. I'm curious what you're going to do.
Yeah, now I'm curious.
You've got like the next 4 rounds to figure out how you're going to go running back and quarterback. Looks like you're pretty much locked into later tight end. I think we can book that in. We'll see. It's one of those when you go wide receiver, something has to give, right? Because you know the best ball streets, the old school. It's old school at this point. Like zero RB is like vintage almost, right? It's like several seasons ago. So I'll be curious. Classic Mike in the name might as well be standard Mike.
And it's weird because well, no, that's weird because normally I'm not like that in a dynasty start. I am very much. I love going running back early. You know, kind of like what Rafi's doing, but you know, not those guys. Oh. You got it. You got me all screwed up here. I thought you were brand new there, Ungas. You're killing me. Wow. I was like, oh, we got a new subscriber. Cool.
I can't go QB, right?
Don't worry about it, buddy.
I mean, do I just have to? Crazy.
You have a couple of decent options here.
Oh my goodness. I think I have to.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I wasn't thinking of that, but that's not a horrible idea.
I just always, you know me, I always draft super young. Lamar.
No, I
don't hate Lamar, but I just like Caleb's ceiling. Like their blended 3-year dynasty value. I think Lamar is valued for like the next 1.5 years more than Caleb. But there's a chance that Caleb is basically neck and neck with him at the end of this year. And I think I want to be on that end of the curve. I never go QB though. So really hoping that I start a trend here. I'm also the guy, I've done this in previous drafts too, where I'll draft 5 quarterbacks. If they're just the value on the board, I'll take.
Oh, I've seen you do that, and I get angry.
I'm doing this in a league right now, not intentionally. It's just I traded up from the 107 to the 106 before the draft started, just really thinking it was going to matter. I thought this draft was going to go weird. And Mendoza falls to me at the 106 in Super-Flex instead of 105 because Jadarian Price went beforehand. So
okay.
At that league, I have 6 starting quarterbacks. Mendoza's my QB5. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's pretty insane. I mean, the weird thing here is too, I also think like quarterback is probably the most valuable pick on the board. I don't think the running backs are worth it. I want to take.
You have some value. You have some value out there.
This is weirdly between like. Yeah, I'm just gonna do. I mean, if this is just what it's gonna be, I'm gonna do it.
Oh, that dug in like a knife. Mm-hmm. I've never seen that for a beginning for a Super-Flex startup. It's not bad at all. I'm a little shocked by it.
There's a ton of guys in the second round here that I will be able to flip Herbert for straight up, and maybe even make a profit because it's all cute until someone's willing to do what I'm doing and just take all the value. And I don't have to compete for the first half of the first year. I could limp along at 500, then sell 2 starting quarterbacks. And I did this in Phil's league, the annexation of Puerto Rico. I did this in Taper. I like randomly made the playoffs, and I wasn't even trying to. And I ended up selling an obscene amount of picks to all of a sudden become a super team.
Yeah, I get that. I definitely get that. So we have Jason. What's going on, man? Great to have you. He goes, what up? Traded Kyle Pitts and Travis Hunter for the 2027. It says first and 27 third. It looks like received 36 in cap space back. All right, cool. Oh, it's a salary cap league. Awesome. Only see Trey McBride on auction. Worth grabbing in tight end premium. Oh wow. Give me a sec to read back on it while I make my pick real quick. I love the idea, man. I'm all on board with this because this is one of the types of
that's like your
leagues.
question right there.
Well, this is one of the leagues I'm in. I do Dynasty. I do a salary cap Dynasty league. So for me, this is pretty cool. So let me see. Traded Pitts and Hunter for first and third. Received 36 in cap space back. So you cleared up 36, which is great. Great trade. Only see Trey McBride on auction worth grabbing in tight end premium. The budget is, you guys have $221. How much should I spend if you're trying to get him? You said in auction, how much would you spend? Oh, that's a good question.
Jalen Hurts. Wow.
In auction, I would probably go. I'd probably go in that range too, anywhere between 50 and 55. You're probably a little limited, I'm assuming, because if you're able to budget 50 to buy Trey McBride in auction, that's a heavy price. I don't know if I would do it. I would maybe spend a little more on guys. I would probably spend a little more on other guys. Loveland, Kraft, Gatson, or something like that. I'd probably spend less on so that you can use some of that money for something else. Paying $50 for Trey McBride and tight end premium, as much as I love it, it's just a lot. So Jason goes, right, but I'm only paying $14 more for my budget back of $36. Okay. So you got 36 in cap space to the Jay. I'm not trying to sit here and I might need you to reach out to me in Discord there, big guy. Because right now this is a lot of info for me.
Mm-hmm.
I do this in my own league. So he goes, I cleared up $36 in cap space. So I'm only spending like 14. Got it.
Sounds like a Discord conversation for.
No, this
sure.
is definitely
that's what we're gonna have to
something,
dive deep into there.
This is something we can definitely chat about in Discord for sure. So make sure you make sure I forgot to do it. I'll edit it at the end. But make sure you check us out on Discord. I'm the same exact thing on Discord. Let me just put it in the chat for you. So it's easier for you to find. It's just without the underscores. So just look me up on Discord. This is what my Discord is. And I'll talk to you about it. And I have no problem going through it with you. I'm going through this problem right now. I'm 14 over, I think, at this point. And my biggest issue is Derrick Henry. So I'm trying to work out a way to trade Derrick Henry in picks. But yeah, message me on Discord for sure, and I will definitely talk to you about this. It's actually kind of rare to find somebody that's in a salary cap dynasty league because I don't see it often. So for me, it's fantastic. I love it. Been doing it for the last 5-6 years. No, 7 years, 8 years. Holy shit. It's been a while. Won it 3 times. Enjoy it very much. So definitely check me out on Discord. I will give you a chat, and I'll even give you an invite to our Discord as well. So look me up on Discord, and we'll go from there. Sorry, that was a lot of chatting about Discord. I apologize.
Hey, it's all good. I'm just locked in. Just seeing this, it's going to be an interesting draft, right? I know I'm taking all kinds of flack in the comments for drafting a bench player in the third round of a startup. But for anyone that doesn't know me, right, I'm going to do about 10 to 12 trades probably before the season starts. And I'm the biggest fan of, I play Dynasty in really long windows, right? So everybody that finishes third or fourth place, I'd laugh at in Dynasty. Right now, I don't mean that like to be like, super mean, but it's more or less, I would rather set up extremely strong, long windows and play the natural value accumulation game to like 10 out of 10 always end up with a top 3 juggernaut team. Like there's no other way to do it. You just have to say, I am definitely not going to win at least 1 year in the first 2 years. And so
That's fair.
The reason behind 3-4, I'm just staring down at, okay, in the trade market right now, don't look at the draft board, right? Justin Herbert, 1-for-1, Kenneth Walker. You're taking Herbert 10 out of 10 times for over a 24-and-a-half-year-old running back that gets injured, right? Nico Collins is about to fall off an absolute cliff at some point. He's got, a year and a half before we start looking at him like, he's great. I mean, I can't hate on him that much, but he's about to be 28 years old. And how long, if you're not winning the league with a 28-year-old wide receiver 1, he shouldn't be on your team, right? So you just look at some of those picks, and I'm going to be able to flip Herbert for them. Things worked out a little bit well, though. I think Tate is a foundational dynasty wide receiver right now. I think he's going to have a very similar pathway to Tet McMillan, where, rough quarterback situation, but it's improving. The team believes in him. Value insulated forever. Super lucky I got Brees at the 5-4, though. I think my entire draft doesn't make as much sense. I seriously considered Scadaboo at the 5-4, and so I wanted one of those two there. Mike, loving the way your team's looking up after grabbing Judkins and Scadaboo. 0 QB build, though.
I don't like it. I'm this is not my build.
Well, so I think it could work out. You know me, I'm a big fan of, despite literally going 3 quarterbacks in a row. That was only because I feel like I've never seen this many people try to like not draft quarterbacks, right? And so I kind of had to go the other way. But I like the way you drafted that. You still have guys I love on the board, right? Yeah. Mendoza's still great. I think Cam Ward's still a pretty fine value. CJ Stroud was literally a first-round startup pick a couple years ago. Now we're already in at the 6th, and he's off the board. Yeah. I feel like he's going to regress to the mean, maybe not high end, but the mean. The fact that Tyler Shuck is okay, this is all.
I do have a few left that I'm happy.
This might
about,
be a spicy pick. This might get a little bit crazy. What I mean, guys, what are we doing though? I don't. This is clearly the most. Yeah, this is almost ridiculous. I should wait a little bit though.
You should.
I'm about to draft more quarterbacks. I'm really halfway tempted to. It's the most valuable position on the board right now, and it's not even close. But I'm going to draft a guy I believe in just to pretend to stay a little bit balanced.
Yeah, you're definitely aiming for.
I can almost promise you I'm going to draft a quarterback here, though. There's almost.
Oh, no Evan was doing the same exact thing I was, and of course, oh my god, I should have just taken the quarterback. All the guys, and then you just screwed me out of everything, and you did it on purpose because
I did not screw anybody. I just took the most valuable player.
No, you wanted to do it because you could trade me.
Well, think about it. Look at the strategy, though. If anyone says it's not going to work out,
it's a smart idea.
Basically, everyone's given me like a free round and a half of value because everyone's trying to like wait a little bit.
And Evan, I just realized as we got to the end of that round, Evan's essentially doing the exact same thing I am, just in a different order.
Evan gets to it his position, man. He's got first right of refusal there. That's But we'll see how it goes, right? We still got Darnold. I mean, who do you like in the board, Mike? Like in terms of quarterback, who are you okay with at QB 1 or 2? I mean, you're not
right now
QB 1, but who on the board do you still kind of enjoy? What's your tier list for like I'm comfortable with them, but I'm not with anybody else? This is a dynasty startup. Keep in mind with that in consideration.
I mean, I'm very like. I don't have anybody that I like on this list, and one of them just went off the board with Sam Darnold. So I kind of have to kind of roll with what I got here. Best available from what I got. Can
I interest you a Justin Herbert and a second for Neighbors?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Neighbors.
Okay. I will give you Tyler Shuck.
No, we're not trading on air because this is not even real yet. Yeah. Rafi just gave me the finger.
Yeah, that was nice. Like that Vaishal Tutin pick. I know he's a little bit scary, a little bit dicey, but I feel like he doesn't need to be like Chase Brown. He can be like Chase Brown with competition. He can still cut out a decent role on that team without being like the full super juiced RB1.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about it in
Me
some
too.
ways.
I'm not as bullish on him. I was bullish on him when I'm like, guys, he's like a mid to late second round pick. I'm gonna take him in that rookie year, knowing I'll be able to sell him for a first later on, and we were right on that one. But I actually think Chris Rodriguez is got a little bit of juice behind him.
They kept talking about the reports recently have Chris Rodriguez as the leader, so I'm all about it. If it happens,
I think it's
interesting.
You think it's a worse version of like the Gibbs Monty or Monty Gibbs thing, where like I don't mean to talk down on Gibbs. Tootin's nowhere near Gibbs. You know that role.
This is so gross. This is
Staffy
so
boy.
Gross. I love it and I hate it at the same time because I love Stafford. I just hate everything else.
No shot on Kyler there.
No, I'm not touching Kyler with a 10-foot pole.
I like it.
I'm just not touching Kyler at all. I'm not a Kyler fan. I've never been a Kyler fan. I don't care what team he's on and who he's with. He's still 5'10". He still has a hard time passing the ball in general. He can't see over the freaking line 90% of the time. And on top of that, he's just not – he'll get hyper-focused on one game, and then just the next game, you have no idea what's going to happen with him. You know, we saw from last year, he only got the 4 starts. He did pretty well overall. He stayed within the, average of 18, 19 points, which is fine. But I'm just not there. I can't. He's often injured, and on top of that, he has no incentive. Hopefully the JJ McCarthy can give him a little bit of a run, but it's just I'm not there on Kyler Murray. I just can't. I just can't do it. You can't. I try to convince me otherwise. I just can't. I can't find a way that it would make there's nothing that's there that screams you should go pick up Kyle Murray.
Well, we're gonna find
beyond
out
Justin Jefferson. Beyond Justin Jefferson being there is no other no draw.
So here's the narrative I have to ask myself is if I put a mediocre quarterback in that spot, how do I think they do? Right? If Geno's there or something like that, how do I think they do? Right? Could a bridge quarterback do really, really well there? And where do I rank Kyler amongst those bridge quarterbacks? And I think they've got a really good front office, much better than I think the Cardinals have one of the worst front offices. Look who they hire as their head coach. Drama, right? Look what they do with their draft picks. What are you doing drafting a running back when you have no business being in the playoffs this year? They're making horrible decisions, and that's a locker room killer. So I can see how Kyler was kind of buried a little bit. I'm queued up though, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Did not mean to cue that one. It was supposed to be the other one. That was I thought I was queued up for someone else. All right, just double Green Bay.
That happens.
Just double Green Bay.
That happens. Happens in every draft. I have an idea.
I'll just say it. I was gonna take Kincaid there for the most part, pair up with Josh Allen. But
okay.
All right. Well, we'll just take Jaden Reed next round and lock it all up. So all right. I could have just taken Kyler Murray, right?
You could have.
Just one more quarterback. If Kyler Murray is here at next round, I'm definitely going to take him though.
I mean, he might be around. He might not. We don't know yet.
I'm almost at that point where I'm going to have to start taking just 2 billion running backs.
Oh, son of a bitch, Stuart. I was going to do it. I was going to do it just for the value.
When teams try to always screw you like it's Bonnie Blue Christmas Vacation. They always want unrealistic stuff. Tequila, that's a great question. Great question. So there's a couple ways to approach it, right? One, I'm the biggest fan of you have to earn the right to be a guy that people want to trade with. And fantasy football is a combination of it's a competitive game, but it's entertainment too. You have to. The only reason I get halfway decent deals is because people enjoy the conversation, right? We're not just sitting there like lawyers across the table. We're cracking jokes, and I'm not going to try to convince you that I'm right or anything. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to have fun while we find a premise that makes sense. Not an offer, but a premise, right? this position for that position, this player is key, that player is key, and I don't know, maybe we work it out, right? We find a mutually interesting premise, right? When you throw all, I feel like everyone always throws offers, but they don't throw text messages. You know, I mean, for all the guys in chat, like, how exactly were you picking up girls at any point in time? Were you just coming right out with it, right? Or are you, maybe having a couple conversations to set the table a little bit to make sure you've got mutually interested parties, right? And you got to know who in your league is looking for what. So it starts with dialogue. It starts with being likable. And so that's one. Two, it's always approach every trade from what would the other person think about this trade? What do they think I'm trying to accomplish? Everyone's afraid of losing a trade.
Yeah.
And so they find out what the other guy's trying to do and make that really hard. They make it really hard for someone to win a trade. Well, if you look at it from their point of view, you'll figure out how to make it a little bit more attractive for them, or how to start a premise from their point of view. What positional group are they looking for? And you just got to walk it in through some dialogue. I almost never start the trade conversation off with the guy I really want. I kind of start talking about it in a more interesting, nuanced fashion, and kind of build it up from there. So that's just kind of how I do. It's also finding like players in different spots too. There's timing. I feel like a lot of guys are like, I just don't know why he's not trading with me. And I look at what time of year it is.
Yeah,
right.
Timing is huge.
All right. If they look like they're a competitive team, you're gonna have different windows to trade into that team, right? The chances to pick up their next year's first or anything like that, or some of their young guys that haven't hit, right? The post-hype sleepers that didn't quite hit. It's a good pick in Josh Downs there. Do I got to start picking running back here? Pretty close to it.
I mean, the other thing that I want to bring
back
to your thought there, Tequila. A lot of time, the way that I actually go about it, I always like to have an idea of what the person is looking for and get the unrealistic view of what they want. Because to me, that's you're trying to find middle ground, because you're always either trying to buy somebody at a price that you can't, that they want they want, and then you're always trying to at least get something back, a decent return if you can. So I tend to want to, I reach out to a guy today about Derrick Henry, and I basically just threw it out there. I'm like, hey, like, he was in a dynasty chat that we have for the group, and he was actually talking, which is weird because he never talks this time of year. And I'm like, okay, I threw him a text. I'm like, hey, so just curious, are you interested in Henry by any chance? And he's like, oh, let me look at everything. I got to just double check. I'm like, oh, cool. All right, cool. Like, and if it doesn't work out, that's fine. And I understand he's probably going to just want like a couple thirds or like a second or something like that. But I can at least then kind of get an idea of what he's looking for and go from there. I have to be realistic with my thought. I see him as a 4-year, the last 4 years, he's been top 10. He's also 32. I have to temper my expectations as well. So I have to understand what I'm willing to part with and also what I'm willing to, go with. I made a trade last year where my whole league blew up in my face because, you son of a bitch, Duarte.
Dude, you're getting murked from both sides there, man. That's pretty fun there.
Typical, very typical. God,
yeah.
damn you.
One thing I'll throw out there too in the trades though is,
go ahead.
So I do look at myself as, I think I'm fairly adept in the trade market. Even if someone knows that, I feel like I can get some stuff done. And I'm not saying I can get stuff done that people are just nice to me, right? If anything, if I get into a trade conversation, most people don't want to trade with me because they assume it will look bad. Like, if they think it's an even trade, they assume they're missing something, right? Because I do this a lot, right? I'm not saying I'm the world's best fantasy player, but if you're in a league with me, and I feel like the big thing is I've never made anyone feel bad about doing a deal with me. I tend to agree with them and take their side more often, but I'm in corporate sales. I've been a professional salesperson for 10 years, right? And I know what it takes to go out and make real deals in real life, right? When stakes are much more real and matter much more than fantasy football, right? And if you can get that down, the same principles apply both ways, right? People want to do business with people they like and think they'll like tomorrow.
Correct.
Right? So in fantasy, you got to be someone that's trustworthy. Like, even if I win or lose, I think it's fun trading with you. Right? If you can be a fun to trade with person, then instead of like, I don't know, man, this is a little bit dicey. It's hey, let's roll the dice. Because as much as you can win this trade, I can too. So let's see what happens, right? They have to be in a mood, right? So you got to set the table. That's the best advice I can say is treat it like a real life sale, right? You got to build some rapport. You got to be willing to put the time in, right? No one picks up the phone and just gets a sale, right? I think the modern touch, at least in my business, about 9 sales calls get there. So that's 7 to 9 messages I got to send before I deserve to make a trade with that person.
That's fair.
Where do we want to go here? It's been so fun not even having to think about quarterback. It's been great. Honestly, you guys should give it a shot, man. It's pretty fun over here.
Oh yeah, tons of fun.
I guess we're gonna do the solve wide. We're gonna solve running back later on because we have so much trade value by just taking the best players every round. I think we've got some big winners in the draft here. I'm really close between two. I think I'm just going to take both of them one after another. Xavier Worthy, huge winner from the draft. So is Rashee Rice. Not adding Jordan Tyson with what they had the 9th pick.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge. Didn't add any offensive weapons of any meaningful value. If they did anything, it's free agent running back, rookie running back. But outside of that, I think Xavier Worthy has a real shot. An aging Travis Kelce and a Rashee Rice that you never know what's going to happen with him. And still, like, somewhat banged up. I think Worthy and Mahomes, if they change how they play offense, I think Worthy still has a chance to be not the high end we once thought he was. Those days are over. But I think a more productive role player that has more projectable target share, I think could be interesting. Still a little bit boom bust, but Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Okay, this did play out pretty good. The wide receiver I wanted is still here. I am considering... I just don't draft old guys in startups. I want flexibility. I like Jalen McMillan here. I'm going to take a shot, though, on a guy that I think has like legitimate upside in like a year and a half.
Okay. See, I've been waiting for him to kind of fall a little bit and see where I can get him, and this is probably the right spot for him.
Yeah, and Pastor, very nice. I was going McMillan. That was the guy I was thinking about between Brooks. I'm not bullish on Brooks this year, but I think by the end of this year, Chuba is just. I think he's honestly kind of close to just a guy, but a little bit better. But they have a really good offensive line. I think a lot of running backs in the NFL are really talented. Ollie Gordon's the guy I think about. Where in college he was the best running back in college, and then his offensive line fell off a cliff. And he sucked. Like, running backs are more offensive line dependent. Even more so than like a good wide receiver with a bad quarterback is bad, but they can still have better games.
I could make the argument of, people like Saquon who did well with the Giants line sucking. So, I mean, yes, you do need a good line. Look at Ashton Genty though. Like,
explain to me, Ashton Genty is a generational talent, and no one can argue with me. Like, that's just a bad argument.
Horrible line.
His season was bad because the worst offensive line I've seen in a long time.
Which is crazy to think because he had at least 2 first-round picks that are on that line. Like, but they were like, one was hurt, and
the guy had negative yards like before contact, right? Literally getting hit behind line. So, like, for me, that's Genty that can't be successful without a line. So I'm just saying, I think it has to cut both ways. I think some running backs look pretty good because of the offensive system. I think every Rams running back, Kyron's good. He's not like a world beater. Like, everybody kind of knows that, right? He just does the things that he needs to.
Well, you were going to make my point for me in general. Like, I agree. Like, that's the craziness is he ends up going to the Eagles, who had a top 10 line or a top 5 line, and just destroyed everybody, which still hurts. It still hurts in a lot of places.
This was all supposed to be a Brooks argument, by the way. I'm just saying. I think it's interesting. By the way, the Woody Marks pick in front of me, I think that's pretty savvy too. It just feels like with Houston not grabbing a running back, that's just a nice 1-2 backfield. I think it's an offense we expect to take a little bit of a step forward.
It's lots of young weird pieces. that didn't happen though. Like, I'm still thinking about it, and it's like it's a little weird that they didn't go with a running back in one way or another.
Still connected to Najee. I mean, there's things that can happen there. All right, we got to make.
What's the connection to Najee though?
Just that he's available, and they could probably use some depth.
I mean, realistically, they're the best to know about what Mixon's doing too. I mean, Mixon could come back, but I mean, I don't think it's likely. I just think it's, there's a probability of it. But
Let's have some fun here, dude. Now, I mean, we got to take some
we
running
still
backs
got
because the build, right? So let's do it.
We still got 6 picks left, or yeah, roughly.
Dude,
What are you going with?
I am not upset the way this draft is falling.
Oh, I love Trey Harris. Oh no, not Trey Harris. Tajay Spears.
I mean, Trey Harris was supposed to come back to me. Nice pick, Mike. Nice pick. Look, when you have Breece Hall and then that's it, you kind of got to do this a little bit. So
yeah, well, the wide receiver group kind of disappeared on me. So did the running back group. There's a few guys that I like that are coming around. Son of a bitch, I forgot about tight end. I love when I see a tight end that I want to go off the board. Thanks, Spike.
Hey, that'll happen, man.
That hurt just a smidge because I was waiting for him to come back around.
Yeah, but he wasn't making it past me though. That's the tough part.
That's fine. I do have a few options after this that I kind of like that are available for me if I want to go down that route, which is good. Hope everybody's enjoying their Friday night. It's a beautiful night out here in New York. Jason goes, it's funny to say, but I think the Titans take a step forward this year. I don't think it's a funny thing to say, to be quite honest. I actually agree. I do think that the Titans have a good opportunity to do well. They did a lot of moving and shaking in the free agency and in the draft, and they drafted a couple. They drafted Carnell Tate. I thought that was a great move for them. They also have been building up that line a little bit to help Cam Ward. They got offensive players that they needed with Wan'Dale Robinson and who else did they get? They get one other guy. Doesn't matter. Whole point is they've been working to help out Cam Ward, and with Dable there, I think they have a really good shot. I mean, I'm a Giants fan. I got to watch Dable for the last 3 years. When he runs the offense, everything kind of moved a little better. So I'm really excited to see what happens moving forward with the Titans. Did all my guys go away? They did.
I know this is where like you got to be on. Your fingers got to be on the scroll button, man. You got. Well,
I had a bunch of guys. Oh no, I lost him. There he is.
Chiggy, yeah.
Good old Chiggy Akongwe.
You gotta like. Oh, I love the Jalen Naylor pick, man. He was cute up.
Yeah, Naylor.
That's really nice.
Naylor is one of my favorite late round picks. Really excited for him. Hopefully, he does well where he is. To be quite honest. I mean, one of us has to, right?
Yeah, you got to do it. It's when the picks matter, boys. All right, lots of stuff.
Is when
which of you
matters.
is taking Mac Jones?
That went away before I did.
Was that Vike saying who's taking Mac Jones?
You know what? This is going to be the year that I don't play with a second or a third quarterback. I did that in one league and won it. I'm not really too worried about it.
Me and you can do some trades later on this season. Don't you worry.
You and your damn trades.
I don't know why. Here's my thing. It's like real talk, right? So lots of people do mock drafts, right? Lots of shows do it. I genuinely think that some of the best fantasy minds out there, they try to do glamour mocks. They take trendy, popular picks. Yeah. So that chat's like, oh, nice pick. I know every quote unquote nice pick that the crowd likes, right? I always want to be a player first, and I win a lot of dynasty leagues. And I'm just saying, sometimes a good draft doesn't have to look pretty on paper because some of the best dynasty players are just pure value hogs, right? Drafting for value, trading for value, just always spinning it up into value. And I you know what? We got to start reaching down the board here a little bit, man. It's about time for it.
Yeah, I know. I've been looking up and down that board trying to find something.
All right, where do we start? Where's our first reach down the board pick at? All right, we're going to go here to start. We need
that's a good pick.
You guys are going to see a lot of these quote-unquote good picks coming up, man. There's so many great players. By the way, Pastor Sauce, great pick. Katron Allen there. I think that's it's a pretty savvy pick. I like having one of the Washington guys, just seeing what happens there. Tank Dell, pretty interesting. Jalen Knoll, I mean, might be kind of dead a little bit. Dell might takes Bell right before me. I got Josh Allen, baby. You know I wanted Skyler there. That's a savvy drafting. I don't mind that. And Gunner too. Wow, just destroying my Qs. Love the savage snipes. I might end up with one tight end.
So Jason goes, I can't remember when the Titans have done anything. I think the last was Steve McNair. I just never seen a team that ever really competed. Yeah. Their defenses have usually just been stellar. I mean, what they had with Variable a couple of years ago, they did pretty well. Uh, they're not the same. They're definitely a shell of their former self. Back, even with McNair. I mean, after they went with Mariota, they pretty much just fell off the face of the earth, and they could never get quarterback to work. Will Levis, a few others. They're not able to get everything moving the way that they want to. I think this year or last year when they grabbed Ward was the start. And I don't want to call him McNair. I don't want to go down the roads of, all the people that have been part of the Titans. Warren Moon, all that. Like I don't want to compare him to that because he's not. But it's just the start of what could be a really good team. And I was really against Ward last year. I wasn't a big fan overall. I didn't really think he would step up and do well. He did pretty well considering, his situation. He wasn't the worst quarterback in the world. He wasn't the best quarterback in the world. And it's his first year to really get, his legs get his legs underneath him. I'm really excited to see what he can do moving forward. And I really do think that he can do something special in this league at one point.
Oh, a little quick shout out to BroCal over here. I really, really like his last 3 rounds. If anything, I thought I could wait around on him.
He basically just did the late QB that you would have done.
That was fantastic. I mean, you know me. I'm a Drew Aller guy for sure. And if I didn't need tight ends too, I would have gone out. I thought I have Aller queued up at 16.9 there.
Interesting.
But I figured I had a little more time, to be honest, because he's so buried in ADP. So that's cool. I'm seeing him rise off boards a little bit there. I think he's my favorite. I think he's got real game in Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh's wide receiver core, pretty underrated. I feel like Jeremy is a really solid wide receiver 3. And DK Pittman.
This is a gross pick.
That's a nice looking offense. If they had a decent play caller, I think they have some potential there.
Nice.
That being said, it's Pittsburgh, so I think they have no hope. But maybe Aller's the guy. We'll see what happens. Keaton Mitchell, love that pick. Oh man, Raridon too. Everyone loves this kid Raridon. That's becoming like the trendy pick right now.
6'7", 252. Where'd he go? 95th overall, so that's 3rd round. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. He would just be the replacement for Hunter Henry at one point. We'll wait and see how that goes.
Where do we want to go here?
Yeah, a lot of my picks kind of flew off the board, and I was in a spot where I was just like, I don't like anybody. I almost made a pick, but I know he's going to be there when I get, on the way back, and I know that he's going to be there at the very end of this, so I'm not really trying to stretch for him at this point.
Oh, man, so many guys are... People sleep on Kobe Lane. Man, I was defending Kobe Lane in the pre-show.
You were. So I kind of want Ungas to tell us a little bit about Jacoby Lane because I'm not there. I'm a little nervous. I just picked him up in one of my rookie drafts at the 304. So tell me more about him there, Ungas. Sell me on him that I made the right choice because I kind of son of a bitch pastor. Stealing his ADP is bottom of the thing. That's why I was waiting. God damn it.
Well, Uno, I can't answer this question because I gave Mike like a 15-minute mouthful on Jacoby Lane in the pre-show. So.
Yeah, I'm just not there yet. Just not there. I mean, he's a 6'4", 200-pound receiver that would be probably 5th in the pecking order, 4th in the pecking order. Just not there. So.
All right, Mike, talk us through this amazing.
Oh, this is not going to be an amazing pick. I know the guy that I want is going to be there on the way back, so I'm not really too worried about it. And to be fair, it isn't really a crazy pick.
I have right now 2 names in mind that you might take.
Right now, I need some. I don't know what I need. I like my wide receiver group. I like a lot of the other stuff. There's a bunch of guys here that I could lean on if I had to. I could go that way.
I'm thinking of I'm thinking of one specific player. I've seen you take him too often. We'll see what happens.
No, I'm gonna just.
Ooh.
I don't like going into the Giants offense like that. I don't like eating too much into it, but I was on the clock and it was dying. So
Oh, that's a sneaky pick there, Michael Mayer. I
like Mayer.
They don't have a great pass catching offense. If they run a bunch of 12 personnel, like Mayer might be like low key startable.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like 12 team deep roster things happen. When I say startable, I'm not like excited. Like you know what I mean by that, guys. But Mayer was great for Notre Dame, good pass catching weapon. I mean, he got destroyed by Bowers, but Tyler Allgeier's been living that life for a few seasons now. If he ever gets to move on, I think he's going to be in good shape.
Oh, this is going to be gross. I'm really doing it just so I have 3 QBs.
Kirko. I thought you were definitely taking Troy Franklin. I know you got a soft spot for him.
But I picked Pat Bryant above. So I like Troy. I should have maybe done something different with Pat Bryant and waited for Franklin, but it is what it is. I usually like pairing him with Bo Nix, but after when I saw Bo Nix, oh, that leg looks gross. Thankfully it's not as bad as Alex Smith, but it did not look great. So we'll see.
All right. A-Rich off the board. Can't go there.
So Jason goes, agreed. They help Ward. He likes to sling it downfield with, wide receiver. Tate is best at. He doesn't do the ball when his hands touch. He's great in Dynasty. Tyson and Jordan too. Good fit. Yeah.
You guys, this is one of the sneakiest 20th round picks, by the way. Njoku is going to sign with the team in like 2 weeks, and then he's going to shoot up boards.
Yeah, but where do you think he goes, though? Every team is pretty locked up in most positions, and tight end, the only tight end spot that I see that would need anybody is the Titans. Like, I don't see anybody else that really is dying for a tight end. You know what I mean?
I think Tampa Bay is very much in the picture.
Caden Otten, still there.
I mean, Cade Otton's still there, but he is kind of just Cade Otton. Right,
yeah.
Like he's okay. He's okay.
Baker is there.
What about Carolina Panthers?
I think they like Sanders. I think they're a big fan of Sanders. Sanders is a big-bodied tight end.
I think they've been saying they're a fan of Sanders for a while, but the guy doesn't. I mean,
they like Tommy Tremble too.
Right.
Like I said, I just think it's the Titans because who else do they have? They have Gunner, and that's about it. Like they don't really have anybody else that's viable, and they want to increase their ability to give Ward weapons. Yeah, I saw that.
You're not wrong.
Barely. So Evan went with the Philip Rivers. You guys can't see it because I didn't scroll, but
I mean he's gonna
right above.
He's gonna be the starting quarterback for the Steelers probably, right? I mean that's why you picked him.
No,
I hope. I'm a big believer in dude. He's got his insurance benefits.
We all know Rodgers is gonna sign in a few weeks. After he always signs right after, once they get into training camp, he'll sign. He always does this every year. Just let it be. For any of those that watched his documentary, it was very enlightening on what he, is doing. So let him enjoy life. Let him get his mental health back to where it needs to be, and that's fine. I have nothing against him doing that. No. That's just me though.
I'm with you. So hey, that was a draft, man.
I'm excited.
Good stuff. I'm gonna have a good time breaking down this board. I actually want to look at it later on and really kind of look at where some guys went. I'm gonna need to see a few more startups for sure to see how it transforms from one to another. Love seeing my guy Ken Walker fully rise up around a little bit. Running backs somewhat predictable.
Let's go.
Rookies didn't go as high as I thought they would.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks definitely. It looks like everyone just doesn't really care about quarterback. But I'm interested because when I do these drafts, I don't know about you, Mike. When you actually get into like a startup, I see people mock like they're brave, but then in a real startup, I see a bunch of QB starts. Because it's like when it's really your money and really your league, I know a lot of people are like, I just don't want to get absolutely boxed out and have to figure it out. So we'll see. I take it with a grain of salt just how late quarterbacks went. I mean, we had 3 quarterbacks drafted in the first round of a dynasty startup. Like, has anyone actually been in a real startup?
Super-Flex. Let's add that.
Remotely true. Right. So grain of salt, right? I think there's a little bit of like trying to flex on everybody.
Dude, last year, if memory served me, there was on average 7 quarterbacks going in the first round. Like, not even close to what it is. It's actually gone down a ton, and people are realizing that they can grab so much value later. I think it's also a lot to do with the older quarterbacks are getting, the quarterbacks are getting older, of course, and with time, it's one of those things where the better quarterbacks are actually older. So a lot of players or a lot of, managers are waiting because the good or the younger group isn't really doing as well as it should be. So it pushes everything down with the quarterback, and it makes it where you don't have to reach for, QBs unless you have, unless you're feeling really spicy about somebody, like you with Herbert or, Dart. I haven't seen Dart go in the 3rd round at all. Like, I've seen him, been going in the 2nd round the last few times we've been doing it. Granted, I've been the one drafting him. But at the same time, like other times we've done it, a lot of times, I really think that's the big part of it is a lot of the good quarterbacks are in their, later years, and all the, younger quarterbacks are, they're just, we're waiting for, we were, Jason was talking about it before, where everybody's waiting for 27. I mean, everybody's waiting for 2027 and getting those picks because everybody wants those guys. Everybody just wants 2027 picks. So I think that has a lot to do with what we've been seeing as of late. But yeah, it's pretty interesting overall. Let me go through my team that I did today. So I ended up going with Amon-Ra St. Brown. A little shocked that he got to where he was. So went with him. Malik Neighbors, same thing. Quinton Junkins, I ended up I reached for him a little bit, but I love his output. I love what is going to come with him. They built his line as of late, and on top of that, he's healthy. He's out there. He's been doing great. I'm just a big fan of Junkins moving forward. Hopefully, he can keep off-field stuff to to a minimum. Ladd McConkey, love the pick as my 3rd wide receiver, and the fact that he fell to the 4th is just unbelievable. Yeah, I know, Evan. I'm sorry. Tucker Kraft, love this pick. Recovering from his ACL, so hopefully he comes back bigger and stronger. Cam Scattaboo, just love the guy. I know I just picked 2 guys with broken ankles, so we'll see how that goes.
Dude, Scattaboo's my favorite pick in the entire draft, by the way. I think that's a steal of the entire draft.
Yeah, he went. The only reason why I picked him is because Kyron Williams went off the board before him. So I would have went with Kyron if he was still there. Bryce Young right after that. I'm a little disappointed in myself because one of the 6 quarterbacks that went off the board after Cam was who I was aiming for. Bryce Young right after that. We do Matthew Stafford. Going with my favorite guy, Wan'Dale Robinson, just can't get off of it, and he's getting in the 9th round. It's just hard not to. Young kid going into a new system. I understand Carnell Tate is a part of the whole deal, but it is what it is. He's going to be in the slot and used often. Jaylen Warren, I know that Arthur Smith is gone. I know the whole team is going to be a little bit different because they added guys like Pittman and such. I know Aaron Rodgers is coming back, and if Aaron Rodgers is behind center, he's dumping that ball off every freaking time to the running back. Jalen Higgins, just love the receiver, love what they're doing with him in the on the Texans. Jalen Coker, just love Jalen Coker as a whole, and I figured why not pair him with Bryce Young. It's a good fit. Braylon Allen, really like the kid. I think he's a solid running back overall. Unfortunately, on the Jets, it is what it is, but there's a smaller window that I can do that I really like, and I think that I highly doubt he gets a deal done next year. I think he's going to be what the Saquon situation was. So for me, that means Allen is available next year, and so I'm just waiting a year on that. Chris Rodriguez, right after that, I think he's the number 1 in Jacksonville, especially for this year, at least for a few weeks. At least it's a piece that I have for a flex spot if need be. Pat Bryant, just love what they did with this pick in general. Really like what they're doing in Denver as a whole, and having them connected to Sean Payton, just love it. Darnell Mooney, just like the kid. I think he's one of the best underrated route runners out there, and tying him with Jackson Dart, really think that's going to be fun. Theo was just kind of a pressure pick. Just love the kid. I know that likely is a better option, but I just like Theo. Kirk Cousins was just to fill a void. So, yeah, that's my draft. I kind of liked it, kind of hated it. It's, in between for me. What about you there, Kendall? What do you got? And we already kind of talked about your first three.
Yeah, honestly, I'll skip it. Y'all saw my draft. It's going through my draft isn't going to make as much sense and going take by take because I just think every pick was as close to a value. But I'm drafting based on how I execute a dynasty team and what I'm actually going to do in the league. So
yeah, that's fair.
Like listing pick 1 through 20 is one thing, right? It's more like here's how my rooms are going to look. Here's where the value's at. I know what I have to do. The one thing I keep looking at more and more in these startups is I like wide receiver, less injured than running back, carries more value over lifetime. So if you were to put some sort of value metric on a position and then make that position per year, like wide receiver has a nice metric on it. But every year I like the wide receivers in the rookie draft, and there's only a couple of running backs. And so one of the strategies I've kind of been leaning into is, do you want to reach for a running back who might not even be good and do the Trey Benson Brooks thing? Or do you want to have a team that's set up with value, can trade into picks? But if anything, I'm saying I'm okay being a little bit wide receiver light, knowing that I'm always going to take the wide receivers in the draft. And my team's always going to naturally, year after year, get more wide receiver heavy, right? But I'm going to take some positions where I think I can trade them into value, right? Find the most undervalued player on this draft board in the middle of the year and flip my excess at quarterback, right? If there's a year where like Kyler and Darnold takes a step back, I don't know, Dak gets injured, Nix isn't as good at football. If you just have some guys that go early disappoint, right, it makes my style of draft all of a sudden incredibly valuable. Like if I take a non-contending year and end up selling and grabbing 3 more first-round picks into 2027, right, that's where you kind of see my lineup work a little bit, though. So I did the crazy heavy QB build. I think Tyler Shough at 7-4 is my favorite pick. When I took Herbert at 3-4, one of the things I want to say to myself is, by the middle of this year, how ridiculously popular is Tyler Shough going to be with what that offense is looking like? It could be pretty scary. They've got a good running game, right? An undervalued RB1 that can do it in all phases of the field and catches passes, right? We've got an elite wide receiver 1 and 2 that can honestly flip roles, do all kinds of things. That I just think it's a team that could put up some points. Tyler Shough's looking good. If he follows it up, right, I think Shough is going to look easily more like the Purdy, Lawrence, Nix tier in that 4th round. I see Shough as kind of like the odd man out of that tier, but right behind him. Okay. And I really think that's where he's going to be. So if I'm getting 3-round value on a quarterback, I think that's pretty impossible to do. But I think most people listening are probably thinking to themselves, yeah, I was hoping Shough got back to me. Yeah, I like Shough. You're already thinking it yourself.
5 times.
You're already valuing Shough a little bit higher than market, hoping everyone else doesn't, but everyone's thinking the same way, right? So I think he's the easiest. He's going to be a lot better. He's like drafting Luther Burden, where you're like, once DJ Moore leaves, he's going to be good. It was like Buka before Evans left. Same type of idea. If I had to talk about just one more real quick player, it's going to be Christian Watson, though. I think he's being massively undervalued where he's going in startups. The team obviously has a lot of confidence in who they're running out, not taking any players there. Even pretty good for Kraft, obviously, not double dipping into that area. So even like the Watson Golden pick, honestly, I kind of laughed it up. It's not who I wanted to pick there, but it's not horrible given the injury history and role uncertainty, right? It's more of a let's see how this rolls. But Christian Watson is the player there. I just really think that we're drafting Jameson Williams at the 6-6. I feel like Christian Watson only needs about half a season or a full season of reasonable health to be legitimate. He was healthier than we expected last season, finished really strong. I tend to want to bet on everyone gets injured in this sport. Players that are injury prone are less injury prone than we give them credit for. I do think injury prone is a thing, but less than we give it credit for. If he does the Christian McCaffrey thing and is just all of a sudden kind of healthy and keeps it up, I think that's going to be a valuable pick. So keep that in mind. I'm just looking at Watson as a pretty value-centric player. You can still probably get for value in the trade market. But anyway, good draft. I'm looking forward to breaking this down. If there's one thing I learned, it's we're all on the same rookies. Everybody is, because we hate the rookie class. So if you want them in startups, you got to reach for them well ahead of time. And running back is going to continue to be valuable this year. There's many backfields that we all just kind of hate. When I look at where running back fell in this draft, lots of people took running back above players they'd rather take.
Well,
because they just needed to.
I'm going to bring this up because I agree. Like the fact that Tracy is going so much later than Scat is crazy. I think Tracy should be going a lot higher. I think Tracy is I think Tracy and Scadaboo as a tandem are going to be something very interesting. I do think I know I'm a Giants fan. I know it's kind of coming from that, but just on paper, if you take away my fandom, because I'm very critical of my team, I thought we built a pretty good team overall through the draft, through free agency. And I think that there's a lot of really good pieces that are going to be
good
coming.
draft you guys had. I like it a lot.
I'm really interested in seeing what that is. And I can also agree with Ungas here with Juckins and Dylan Sampson. I think that team could be that backfield can be something scary too. And, a lot of teams could doing the running back heavy, running back by committee groups that are going to be really interesting to watch. The Bears, the Giants, the Browns. A lot of teams are trying to get into that and use it a lot more, and it really does save your running backs in the long term. I remember who was it recently that I think it was Mixon prior to him leaving the Bengals brought in Chase Brown to help him and kind of give him a little bit of a break. And, instead of running it for 300, 400 times a game, a year, they bring in, Chase Brown to just help relieve him. And you saw how much better Mixon did after, things like that. They've done that in the past for other guys too. And it's just been very helpful to see. So hopefully that, I don't like that trend. I kind of love I think we all love the bell cow running back, but unfortunately it's just not a thing anymore. Running back is just, unfortunately, has expiration date, and it's very hard for teams to really value them in any way, shape, or form. The Derrick Henrys of the world are no longer out there, Saquon, so on and so forth. It's hard to find those. So hopefully we'll see a change in the near future. Jason goes, do you think Hunter will ever be good for fantasy, or will he always make owners? He plays defense as well. I don't think Travis will ever be. I agree.
I'm not on that side.
I really am.
I'll put it this way, right? Like, you guys, no one's saying he's bad at wide receiver. No one's saying he's a bad NFL player, right?
I am.
People are saying he's a bad NFL player.
I think overall he is not a. No, I'm saying he's not. I think I'll give him credit for the concept of being able to play two positions on both sides of the ball, being able to play, offense and defense. Good for him. That's awesome. But the problem is he has to play one or the other. This is NFL. This is a completely different aspect of life. Being thrown in as a gadget player every so often, he's just not viable for fantasy unless it's IDP.
So let me give you a quick thing. Where Travis Hunter's a bust for where he was drafted in rookie drafts, okay? But if you didn't take him, okay, if he's just in a league, right? Let me just give you one clear-cut example of why people are going way too far on the Travis Hunter's worthless take, okay? Who was in on Jack Beck? I wasn't, by the way, but I know everyone got real steamed up on him in the second round of a pretty good wide receiver class, right? Who had a better rookie year, right? You ever think Jack Beck's going to be anything? So I'm just saying, like, he was a decent prospect profile. Travis Hunter is significantly better than him, but look at the cost, right? You can get Hunter for a second-round pick right now, and some people don't even want to do that. They would rather go with, like, a third. Look at the draft this year. Like, what you're getting for a mid-second in this class versus like a Travis Hunter, I'm saying none of them are probably going to be anything, but Hunter is actually good at football, right? He's in a situation where I don't know if he's very valuable for fantasy, but he's played in the NFL for 1 year. And I think he's going to have what on a plus or minus 5-6 years of, forget fantasy, NFL relevance, 10 years. He's a pretty good athlete.
And that's if he stays as a corner full time. He can't play both sides of the ball. It's just not going to happen. You have to be on one side.
When you invest that much draft capital on a guy, if he's not like making huge inroads on defense, like I think
he didn't really make any inroads. He didn't make any inroads on offense. He played 7 games. He had a total of, he only had 1 game, which was a fluke at 14 targets, which is ridiculous, where he actually did something outside of the normal. And to be honest, it's something that I would throw out because it's honestly never going to happen again. 14, 8, and 101 and a touchdown. He didn't have a touchdown prior to that and barely had any more than 2-3 catches a game. He's not anything more than just a gadget player to use every so often. He came from I watched a lot of the Shedeur Sanders. I hated Shedeur. I still do. I'm not a big fan. I am still not a fan. I'm just not a fan of what he's trying to accomplish.
Oh, that I can agree with.
Like, I understand he's a good player, but he's only good at one position, and it's not wide receiver. He is not a wide receiver.
Man. Like,
no, I'm sorry.
I can't agree with that take, dude. There's no way I can agree with that.
His most yardage, other than going in his
is
last
Egbuka
game,
wide receiver? Because Egbuka dropped the ball half the time he caught it. Right? Is he good or bad? Like, he had a terrible second half of the year. We buried
second half, yeah, but
an entire second.
Receiver.
Egbuka shouldn't have 2 bad games in a row. Basically, people were paying 3 first-round picks for Egbuka, and then all of a sudden he can't catch a ball.
I paid
Travis Hunter has he's got a bad situation, but I'm just saying he's so easy to hate. But I'm just saying be careful. Alec Pierce versus Travis Hunter, who's better wide receiver? Really think though. Alec Pierce
or Travis Hunter? I'd take Alec Pierce.
I'm saying it. I think if you asked a bunch of NFL GMs, I think 95% of them would be like, no, Hunter is a better wide receiver for sure.
No, I'm sorry. He won the Heisman. Good for him. Honestly, it's a that I will give him the credit that is due. Came from a small school, played both sides, won the Heisman. Good for him. Honestly, good for him. He is not an NFL wide receiver, and he should have stuck to one thing and continue. And if he wants to, be out there on one play for the Jags on, a trick play or something like that, by all means, enjoy. A lot of teams do that. They had guys that play defense that have been in on those plays. You see it all the time with a D tackle playing fullback, and get the ball and score. It happens, but that is not the player he is. He cannot be out there doing 50-50 on each side. It's just not. Realistically, it will not happen, and he will continue to have injuries that are on top of what he's trying to do on top of that, because it's just, you can't do that. And you know what? Like I said, I give him the credit for playing both sides. It's just not going to happen. And Travis Hunter in fantasy in general is one of the worst picks to have at all. Like, I wouldn't go near him in redraft. I will not touch him in a startup. There's just no point, because he's not going to be on the offensive side of the ball. They've already had reports out that he's going to be playing a majority of defense. He's going to be out there, I'm assuming 80% based on what I keep hearing. And even if it's at 60%, he's only going to be on the field for 40% on offense if he's doing that. And he didn't really do anything, because even Jay said, and I agree to a point, I think he's actually lower on that list, but they've gotten Brenton Strange, in there. They got BTJ. They have Jacoby Myers, who they traded for. They traded for a wide receiver with him on the team, mind you, and he has a few years left. Gave him a decent deal on top of all that. I'm sorry. There is nothing that you can tell me that would prove that Travis Hunter in any way, shape, or form is a solid NFL wide receiver.
Hey, we're gonna find out
if he's a top
at some point.
If he's a top 20 corner, I'd be maybe like, okay, I could get on board in IDP.
Understand the take, though, right?
No, I understand.
There's a nuance here of his particular team situation is awful for fantasy, but one of the better ways to play fantasy, though, you look at talent and situation and then extrapolate it a couple of years for opportunity. Again, where's he going in this draft, right? I'm not taking him super early. I'm saying every pick beyond like the 12th round, right?
Yeah,
we're just not going to talk that long about them, right? But everyone would say, "Oh, I don't value him really high. I just think like maybe something could happen," right? And my point is, when you're having the maybe something could happen, people pay a decent amount for like what could happen on a guy that just wasn't very good in college. they're saying opportunity NFL, and it's like, but did you really scout? Do you really know what they were capable of? Even athletic comps, right? Like size, speed stuff, right? Like basic, just how they move, right? How much of an athlete they are, right?
Even at the eye test, I didn't like him.
Well, that's fair. Oh, if you didn't like him at the eye test, though, he's not going to be any good at defense, though, right?
No, he was better at defense than he was on offense, and that was the only point.
Well, that's fair too.
But that's the only thing. At IDP, I love the kid. I will take him 9 times out of 10 in IDP. I will take him any time in IDP, and you know why? Because Sleeper decides to put him as a wide receiver DB, and you know what? That fills 2 of my voids on either side of the ball if I ever need it, and that's the only reason why I like it. And it's putting a wide receiver, because if he does play wide receiver, he has the ability to go down that route, that route. So I'm just
a sucker for a buy low, man. As soon as he hit, as soon as I could buy him for the 210 this year, I'm like, well, I want to give the 210 to someone that's down on their luck, because I don't even want it, because I think it's a worthless pick. And I'm like, well,
but you're willing to pay a 210 to buy Travis Hunter?
I'm buying him for free. The 210's worth 5 in fab. For
next year? I'm talking about next year's.
No. I'm saying I traded for Travis Hunter in 2 or 3 spots for the 210 this year right now.
Okay. Do I think he's better than the 210? Yes. But do I think that he's a viable wide receiver for a team for you to have? No. If you want to trade for him because you think he's better than your 210, that makes sense. Fine. If you think that's a free pick, enjoy. I'm not doing it. I'm not going anywhere near Travis Hunter, and there is nothing that anyone can do to try to get him to me.
We're gonna have to get a bet on this. I need some skin in the game on this, because
how many? Okay, but so then what's your outlook? The next 2 years?
We're gonna have to figure out a crafty bet.
I'll think of a crafty bet. 3 years, and he has to be in the top 20 of wide receivers.
See, that's how I know that the market loves to overreact, but they'll never put their money where their mouth is.
No, you
need him to be a top 20 wide receiver.
Hold on. Do you
think a top 36 wide receiver would pay money based on where you guys are valuing him, though? Easily.
Okay, but I wouldn't even put him in the top 36.
If you wouldn't put him in the top 36, why does he have to be a top 20?
Well, because that's how you're talking him up.
But he's not good until he's top 20.
But you're trying to say he's that good, though. If you think he's that good, put your money where your mouth is at the top 20, and we'll go from there.
No, I'm a dynasty.
But you're not willing to do it. That's my point. It's not. He's not that. I
just need a guy to pay $1 more than what I paid for him, and that's winning every day. If I turn a 1 cent into 2 cents, it's a lot less than $1 bill, but I still doubled my money.
I appreciate you, Duarte.
Yeah, we should get out of here, man. I love him. The internet just hates me, man. I can't give up on Travis Hunter. I said Mendoza's a little overrated, man.
I can't get on board. Jason goes, I cleared up 25 cap space. You wouldn't want McBride for 25 more for 4 years, clearing up 25. See, there's so many nuances to this question, Jay. I really want you to reach out to me on Discord. And the only reason why I'm asking this question is because in my league, the cap goes up every year, 10% or $1. So for me, even if I'm buying McBride at, let's just say $50 to $55, next year he's going to be 60 because it's just going to go up and up and up and up and up every year. So for me, it's not worth it because he's just too expensive. If you had other options, I would probably fall with that. But if your league doesn't increase the cap every year and you're able to keep him at $25 more per year, then yeah, I'm down for it. But otherwise, it's just not worth it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. I hope everybody enjoyed their night. I hope everyone. Oh, it's an auction draft. My bad. But does that carry over? So is it 20? Oh, no, it doesn't carry over. Yeah, why not? Go for it. I mean, it's McBride at $50. I mean, you would pay $50 in an auction for McBride.
I'd have to know more information.
No, just in general. Like let's just say you're on the board, $50.
What's the budget? $50 out of what? 50 units of what?
20. I'll say 225.
50 off of 225. Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
But this is a salary cap draft, right?
Essentially, yeah.
I don't play a lick of salary cap,
I
so
understand.
like you don't ask me a salary cap question.
No, yeah, he's telling me I'm using it as an auction.
If you're giving me
auction
regular
draft.
auction startup, yeah, $50 is a ridiculous deal for McBride.
Yeah. So I mean that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here, Jay. Is yeah, that's not
Maybe
a
not
horrible price
ridiculous.
for him, but it's
I think
just
I think he should go in the 70s. If I'd target 65 for him, and if you get him for 50, that's great.
But like I said, it's all nuanced based on your league. That's why I want you to message me on Discord so that me and you can chat a little more. I love talking dynasty in one way, or dynasty salary cap. And you know, the more I know about your league, the better. I mean,
Got to be tight end premium though. If it's not tight end premium,
yeah,
he's almost off my board at that point.
Completely agree. Yeah, no,
it's worth freeing up Travis Hunter.
No, I agree. Get rid of Travis Hunter and go get McBride. Enjoy it. I will stamp
the
my
210 or
approval.
worse, 209 and earlier, and all of us we're in a different playing field there. That's where give me my Zachariah Branch at that point.
All right, boys and girls, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We got families that need us at this moment. I hope everyone enjoyed their night. I hope everyone checks us out. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribe to the shows, both here on the Tavern and on the Extra Point. We will see you guys next week. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their night. Kendall, as always, thank you for being here.
We out.
All right, boys and girls. Later.